Hello everyone, thank you for coming back to Chapter 1 channel. Today I want to talk about a movie named Cold Eyes. I hope that you guys enjoying this. Yunyo keeps a tight eye on a man on the train. A mysterious looking man is spotted outside finishing a Sudoku puzzle before getting on the train. He passes Yunyo and the man she is watching as he moves down the aisle. Yunyo carefully follows the man to a restaurant after he exits the train. In the meantime, the enigmatic man goes to a parking lot to wait for the CCTV camera to be illuminated by the sun. When the time is right, he breaks into an automobile and modifies it for an unidentified cause. Then he ascends to a rooftop and looks about. It turns out he is Shadow, the leader of a gang planning a bank heist. Using a radio signal, he listens in on police communications. It is revealed that he had previously planted a bomb in a car, which detonates, drawing the police's attention elsewhere. With the diversion in place, he signals his crew to begin the robbery. Under Shadow's command, the gang targets a specific stash, executing the heist in under 3 minutes without leaving a trace. However, one of the thieves gets greedy, putting the whole operation at risk. Their delay allows the police to identify their getaway van, leading to a high-speed chase. As a backup plan, Shadow orders a large man to drive a truck straight into the pursuing officers, clearing the path for the gang's escape. The driver also manages to flee without getting caught. Meanwhile, Yunyo's cover is blown, and she is confronted by the man she was trailing. Instead of being hostile, he evaluates her surveillance skills and gives her advice. It turns out that he is Huang, the chief of the Special Crimes Unit, and Yunyo is hoping to join the Secret Service. To test her abilities, Huang quizzes her on everything she noticed while following him. With her photographic memory, she accurately recalls every event with precise times and locations. However, she misses a crucial detail and fails to answer the final question. Huang then helps her revisit her memories from a new perspective. With his guidance, she figures out the missing piece and successfully passes the test, earning her spot in the unit. At the office, Huang is assigned to investigate the bank robbery. He reviews CCTV footage from the parking lot but finds nothing useful. Shadow had carefully timed his actions to avoid being caught on camera. The gang remains invisible on all other security footage as well. Shadow and his friends reassemble in the interim to divide the pilfered goods. He punishes and murders the crew member who put the mission in danger before departing. Later, to deliver the loot, he slips into a shadowy alley. He meets Master, his superior, there, who planned the crime. According to Master, their customer is the bank chairman himself, who sought to acquire specific assets prior to resigning. After reviewing the CCTV tape, Huang returns to the Special Crimes Unit and resolves to find the truck driver. But the individual had hidden his identity, so more investigation was necessary. The team successfully identifies him, a man named Hippo, using powerful AI. Meanwhile, Yunyo arrives at her new workplace, where Huang introduces her to the rest of the team. Yunyo is assigned to the surveillance team alongside Sloth, Monkey, Mole, Viper, Parrot, Ostrich, and Squirrel. Huang briefs them on the case, and they prepare to track down Hippo. He carefully assigns each team member to a specific location based on their skills. Disguised to blend into the crowd, their mission is to observe without drawing attention or making direct contact since secrecy is their biggest advantage. However, after a full day of surveillance, Hippo is nowhere to be found. Meanwhile, Shadow visits a store called National Foods, which also serves as his hideout, where he meticulously plans his heists. Back at the surveillance unit, the team spots a man whose build and gait resemble Hippo's. Squirrel is sent to confirm his identity, but it turns out to be the wrong person. At the same time, Shadow initiates his next heist. This time, his gang is targeting an archive to steal documents that contain evidence of a company's illegal activities, on orders from that very company. The job is executed flawlessly within minutes. However, Shadow notices a man watching from a distance. Without hesitation, he eliminates the witness to ensure no trace of the crime is left behind. Elsewhere, Huang's superior is furious upon learning that the same criminals have pulled off 2 major heists undetected. Shortly after, Master assigns Shadow another job, but Shadow refuses, expressing his desire to leave this life behind and live in peace. His decision is not well received. Master immediately orders his men to kill him. As Shadow is about to drive away, one of Master's henchmen attacks him from the backseat. Thinking fast, Shadow deliberately crashes his car into a wall, throwing off his attacker before killing him. With no other choice, he returns to Master and reluctantly accepts the mission. After returning to the unit, Yunyo examines their unsuccessful search for Hippo and finds a weakness in their monitoring strategy. When headquarters comes to the same conclusion, Huang changes his initial skepticism. Yunyo is assigned the lead when they resume the operation. The group disperses once more, looking around every corner and alley. Yunyo swiftly recognizes a man who has a 90% chance of being Hippo by using her keen intuition. However, an unforeseen circumstance causes their initial attempt to verify his identification to fail. Squirrel, posing as the cashier, confirms the suspect's identification with certainty when he later enters a business. Yunyo takes note of his precise room number as she follows him back to his flat. Once his location is locked down, Squirrel sneaks in to install hidden cameras to monitor his movements. Meanwhile, Shadow is deep in thought, strategizing his next move. He mentally plays out every scenario, carefully timing his actions to ensure a flawless execution. His next mission, hacking into the Korean Stock Exchange's servers to plant software for a client. Elsewhere, Huang and his boss visit the crime scene where Shadow killed the witness from the archive heist. However, they find no clues about his identity. Then, Huang notices tripod marks on the floor, deducing that Shadow had been overseeing his heist from a rooftop, giving him a clear view of everything. Later that night, Yunyo spots a girl taking out Hippo's trash. Seizing the opportunity, she retrieves the garbage and sifts through it. With Huang's help, they piece together a crumpled Sudoku puzzle. The incorrect answers suggest that the puzzle is actually a coded message. After testing multiple possibilities, they crack the code. It's an IP address linked to the Korean Stock Exchange. Hippo is spotted entering an old building, and the surveillance team immediately follows him. They take pictures of his associates to identify them later. Using AI technology, they confirm the identities of everyone involved. Additionally, they plan an informant to gather intel on the group's plans and manage to hack into a phone linked to Shadow, revealing his location. Both sides begin getting ready for the impending conflict. Shadow learns they've been caught after intercepting police radio frequencies once more. Without hesitation, he gives the order for his crew to disperse and abandon the operation. Huang's commander, however, orders the tactical team to advance and make arrests, thus the authorities are already one step ahead. Huang races to the rooftop to face Shadow with help from headquarters, but Shadow escapes the building. Huang calls Yunyo for support since he is determined not to let him leave. Meanwhile, the police manipulate the traffic to herd the fleeing criminals into a trap. One by one, they are cornered and captured. Out of the 6 robbers, 4 are arrested, while 2 are killed in the process. At the same time, headquarters, having hacked into Shadow's phone, calls him in an attempt to pinpoint his identity. Among the voices on the line, they detect a mysterious man carrying a brown bag. Huang recalls spotting the same man near the stock exchange. Locking onto him, he begins to follow. However, he is quickly compromised, forcing Yunyo to step in and take over. She trails Shadow, but he suddenly darts across the street to lose her. Squirrel steps in, disguised as a traffic officer, to intercept him. However, Shadow sees through the act and stabs Squirrel with a hidden pen. Huang and Yunyo rush to help, but it's too late. Squirrel succumbs to his injuries. With his death, the mission is put on hold, even though Huang and Yunyo have finally confirmed Shadow's identity. That night, Shadow prepares to eliminate Master, ensuring there are no loose ends before disappearing for good. Master is heavily guarded, but Shadow's skills far surpass those of his men. Moving stealthily through the alley, he takes them out one by one. Eventually, he reaches Master and kills him without hesitation. Meanwhile, the special unit is shaken by the failure of their mission and the loss of one of their own. The situation worsens when they are officially pulled off the case. However, one day, Yunyo recalls Huang's training and remembers spotting Shadow on the subway with a national foods menu. Realizing this could be a lead, she heads to the store, secretly following him while notifying Huang and headquarters. Seeing the urgency, her boss takes responsibility and reinstates the mission. Yunyo follows Shadow to a restaurant, where he is seen holding a fake passport, preparing to flee South Korea. But he soon grows suspicious and confronts her. She dodges his questions until Huang arrives. Sensing danger, Shadow makes a run for it, with Huang chasing after him. Unfortunately, Shadow ambushes Huang, stabbing him in the abdomen and overpowering him. Just as Yunyo arrives, Shadow flees, leaving Huang behind. Though reluctant, Yunyo obeys his order to keep pursuing Shadow. However, she mistakenly follows the wrong man and realizes her error too late, breaking down in frustration over yet another failed attempt. The rain ceases at that moment, and Shadow comes out of hiding. After spotting him, Yunyo pursues him down a flight of stairs that leads to an abandoned subterranean platform. Huang, who is now recuperating with medical assistance, deciphers Yunyo's hazy transmission and locates her despite losing phone reception. Yunyo looks around, But Shadow surprises her and kidnaps her as the cops approach. Unable to fire a shot, the police pause. A train comes by, and Shadow waits for the ideal opportunity. However, Yunyo takes advantage of the situation and stabs him in the leg, forcing him to run away with serious injuries. With his wound slowing him down, he is unable to outrun the police. As he reaches the exit, he finds Huang waiting for him. Shadow tries to use the oncoming train as a distraction, but this time, Huang refuses to let him escape. Ignoring the risk, he fires multiple shots. The train is successfully diverted, and Shadow is struck by the bullets, killing him instantly. With Shadow dead, headquarters finally closes the case, bringing the mission to an end. The team gathers one last time to honor Squirrel, who gave his life in the line of duty. Then, without wasting time, they prepare for their next task, tracking down Shadow's remaining associates. Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like and comment to help the channel out. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.